Actually, this video is going to be really short. I don't know that you even really need to know about this. Who cares? But we just started this thing, so we'll wrap it up. Maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever. All right, so number 1, first tier, narcissist. Gross. Number 2, you have a sociopath. Let me tell you a little something about sociopaths. Sociopaths are created through trauma. Extreme, ongoing trauma. Do you know what a sociopath is? It is a person who is unable to feel like normal people feel. So we don't, I'm all huddled up over here, but whatever. Okay. Our hearts don't feel like yours do. They don't, like, I don't know. I hear all the time, and I almost want to say that I remember getting like brokenhearted, like where I would feel like my heart just got stabbed, like my heart was getting stabbed. It would feel like chest pains. I was young. I even went to the hospital before for having chest pains. It ended up just being growing pains. Either way, I hear that people say that. They say, I'm dying of a broken heart. Or I pick that name, Jesus, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? They say that they literally feel that pain, or that their heart goes out to them. Well, I think that you could tell me, I don't know. I have not had this in probably 20, 30 years. 30 years. I'm 46. Oh, God, way before then. Since I don't remember the last time I felt that in my chest. I don't know. Maybe the breaking. What happens is, okay, for sociopaths are created. They're created. Psychopaths are, and this is just my scientific understanding on a psychopath, is there is a lobe. They are born that way. There's a lobe in their brain that doesn't flap up and down properly. My future daughter-in-law, actually, she's going to nursing school, so I'll ask her about that maybe someday, whatever, if it ever comes up, either way. So you have those 3 tiers. You got a narcissist, watch the other video, and then you got the sociopath, okay? I'm diagnosed sociopath multi-times, whatever, who cares, whatever, it is what it is. Now let me tell you why you don't be mean to sociopaths. Number 1, we don't care. I like that. Number two is, do you know that they are battered, beaten, abused, tortured at a young age? That's the only way you become a sociopath, my love. My little non-judgmental darling. Look it up before you judge people. Oh, there's a doctor out there, this Indian lady. Lord, you gotta forgive me. Forgive me ahead of time. I cannot stand her. She doesn't know anything. Why don't you interview a real sociopath? The one that knows how we got there. Because we researched it. You talk about they're not worth love and they can never love. You're a fool. You are a fool, Dr. whatever, India looking lady. Oh, she's all over. I wish I knew her name. I would call her out in a second because she doesn't know. She has no idea what she's talking about. But she has an idea of the mental sense. She's never been there. Unless you're a sociopath, you cannot say it. You don't know. We absolutely do have the capability of love. It has to just be a mental decision. We make a decision to love somebody. That is true. That's not true that we don't have the capability to love. It's just, it comes, we decide. And then the love, what? The love with your heart? Is that different? Is that different than choosing to love? Well, what's the difference? If I love somebody with a heart that has been broken so much that it no longer feels, it doesn't work. That's what happens. That child is beaten and broken and tormented and tortured, and they've had their heart ripped out so much abnormally at such a young age that it doesn't work anymore. I don't know if it's God-given or not. It is a survival technique that we cannot reverse. It's broken. It's dead. It does not work. So what? My brain works. And what is love? What is love? Is it an action? Like, just because my heart feels love for you, does that show you love? How? If I'm just sitting here, but my heart is beating love for you. That's not my proof. My heart, shut up. I'm feeling love for you. Are you feeling my love? I'm just sitting here quiet. This is my heart beating. My heart's like feeling love for you right now. Are you feeling love? Okay. Well, how about now? Then I care about you. I'm making these videos because I love you. Because I want what's best for you. I care about you. So I'm going to be open and candid. Tell you everything you want to know. I got you. Or does that say I love you? It would be the latter, correct? Correct. So what's the difference? If I choose to love you and then I say and I do what I said I was going to do because I chose to love you, because my heart it got broken a lot when I was young, from a young age to however old, maybe, I don't even remember, 7 or 8, or I don't know. I was locked in a room with my little brothers. Now I was 9 when that ended. So maybe that's when it happened. Maybe my heart had to stop feeling, because being locked in a room with 3 little kids and trying to find food and break out of that room and then jumping through landmine piles of dog feces, and just like a little kid, I'm just going to play landmine trying to jump over the piles of crap and pee until you couldn't do it anymore. Trying to go downstairs and find some saltine crackers and then break that cracker in 4 and give my piece to my brother. Maybe it had to stop working because a child that's only 7 to 9 years old couldn't handle that type of stress. And then you got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, these babies in diapers, and there's no electricity, and there's no toys, and there's no heat, and there's rats all over. Maybe that had to happen so I could snap into soldier mode. I am now an adult. I will think like an adult. I will behave like an adult. I will take care of these 3 little children. My little brother, he was 7. Well, he was 5 to 7. I was 7 to 9. And our babies, the little babies, the 2 youngest, were 0 to 2 and 2 to 4. You live in that for 2 years and see how you turn out. Okay, so don't judge, my love. Don't judge. You don't know. All right, so what? So maybe that happens so I could be a soldier. Now what happens? The people that are serial killers, because we don't feel with our heart, meaning we're not naturally empathetic. It doesn't mean that means that if you don't have the training up in here, if you don't have the mind of Christ, if you don't have Jesus in your heart, then you don't care about anybody else. Then you can easily be a narcissist. You don't care. I would use people. I would play people. What do I care? So what? I didn't feel anything here. So if I don't choose to feel sympathy for them, if I don't choose to have a good conscience and act out in that way, then I don't have to deal with it. Sociopaths, we don't feel remorse. We don't feel bad about anything. We're not afraid of consequences because we are master manipulators. We can get away with anything because we're not afraid of getting caught. Sorry, I'm doing all this. This is just me. I'm sorry. I am not really sorry. This is who I am. See, the brain of me says to tell you that I'm sorry because I don't want you feeling like I'm degrading you because you don't know this. I'm sorry. I am sorry for that. But it's not here. Wherever people feel things, no. All that, I already told you how it got broke. Now you want to judge me after that? You want to judge a little 7-year-old, little baby girl who's trying to keep 3 little boys alive? Can't do it. Cannot do it. Okay, a lot of sociopaths, that's how we're created. I'm telling you what ultimately creates a sociopath. It is from a very young age. Years of extensive, crazy abuse. Crazy stuff that snaps their hearts. They no longer break. That's why people lack empathy and all that other stuff. Now, a psychopath, which is the highest realm of danger, is what I feel like the Lord told me before. I'm like, why did they put those 3 in categories, and why in that level? And then I feel the Lord said the level of danger, capable danger. Fair enough. Whether physical, mentally dangerous, you better believe it. I'm at the top of the tier, psychopath. And that was a diagnosis also. They never checked my brain to see if that lobe worked. There's really nothing that bothers me. I'm pretty, whatever. You know what I am? I'm so what? How do we fix it? So what? How do we fix it? I see a problem and let's fix it. And I don't have the ailments or the hindrances. I'm sorry, my love. I'm grateful for people that have love and they do feel emotion and all that stuff inside. That's great. That's wonderful. Hallelujah for you. Especially if it makes you happy. I also don't feel immense joy or whatever that stuff is either. It's all in my brain. So I'm just the same as you. But all my emotions are in my brain. Because what happened when I was little and throughout my whole life, it just kept breaking. Awesome. We're still the same people. That's cool. Fair enough. I think like a robot. I'm just what's the best for everybody here? There is no emotion that is messing up my decision making. Now it will be. It's not, again, even like, but like when I was like in love with somebody, I'd be in love with them, so I would want them with my brain. My brain's like, man, but it's better this way because the kids. But I love them. But they made me happy. But they made me laugh. But I liked having sex with them. Whatever. But all of that is all right here. So what would I do to manipulate to get them back? However you want it feels like a little alien thing, like looking out, like, so what can I do? That's how my brain works. Robot. Fair. That was tied to the robot analogy, apparently. My very awake subconscious, my conscious mind. Fair? All right. But people are like this, or like, oh, I cannot even make a decision because my heart is like, I'm not mocking you. Trust me. My yes is my yes. I ain't mocking you. I'm on your side. Like I told you before. I'm on your side, man. Come on. Just having a talk here. All right. You're like, oh, I can't breathe. I cannot breathe. I hate that word. C-A-N''T. You'll very rarely ever hear that come out of my mouth. I cannot breathe. I cannot go to work today. I cannot think. I cannot make rational decisions. Let me just call this person and text him and call him and text him and go up there and stalk him and show up and threaten their girlfriend and do all this stuff. No, I don't have that. Because I'm like, how am I going to get what I want? Let me think strategically. Very good. That's dangerous if you don't have the love of Christ in you, telling you what's right and telling you what's wrong. And that's why sociopaths and psychopaths are often serial killers. Well, you would have to be either a sociopath or a psychopath in order to be a sadist. You have to torture someone. How could you do that if you had any human emotion? That's not realistic. So naturally, every serial killer is either a sociopath caused by what? Traumatic childhood trauma, ongoing, that crushes their heart. It's a survival technique is how I see it. And they're broken. A broken little child from ongoing torture. A sex trafficked kid, most likely going to be a sociopath. Look it up. I don't know about research on that, but I do know about how sociopaths are created. I did study that. So I'm telling you, if someone's sex trafficked, most likely, and I rebuke that in the name of Jesus, unless they need to be. I needed to be. Now, I don't know if God does it or if the devil does it. But I know that, praise God, that I have not had emotion for the last 30 years of my life. Again, it's way longer than 30 years. Because of just the heartaches that I've had in the last 30 years, I would not have been able to survive those. I'm telling you, you have no idea. No idea. Crazy stuff. People don't live through that. My mom didn't make it, and she did. Either way, whatever, who cares? All right, so that's a sociopath. And, yes, a sex trafficked kid, if they come out like this, like me, you cannot put them down for that. How dare you? How dare you? You don't know what it's like to be tortured day after day after day as a young child in those molding years where you're supposed to be building up safety and confidence, security, and instead you're locked in a room, beaten, raped as a young kid. Man, you survive however you can, baby. When you get out of that, I'm going to be here to help you. Just saying. And a psychopath, if it's a lobe, it's literally a brain misfunction. What do you call that? Brain damage? How are you going to be mad at them either? Stop judging people. But that also explains why they're serial killers. Because you would have to be. You would literally have to be to keep killing people. Either demon possessed. They probably are that too. And void of any feelings that makes you relatable to another human being. That's common sense, baby. And narcissists, ew. Like I said a couple videos ago, look it up. They get off on it. They're very sadistic, but it's only because they're losers. They're scared and they're beat down and they're too weak to deal with their own issues. I have no respect for a narcissist. Scat. Now, a sociopath, I have respect for you. I have respect. Because you've been through some stuff. I got you. What's up? How are we going to fix it? Because what I do care about is that you, like me, make wise decisions. Decide to love. Decide to love people. Decide to do, and again, we love with our brain, with our actions, with our words. The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. What is there? Touch, physical touch. What we got, Lord? Verbal, physical touch, gifts, time, spending time, and acts of service. Hallelujah. What's up, man? That book's from like 1995. It's a good book. All right. So you got 5 love languages. Verbal, we speak it. Who tells you to speak it? Your brain. Maybe your heart does. Again, I don't know how this works for people that are all emotioned here. My emotions here. My place in this argument is to show you from my end where I'm coming from. Number 1 is 5 love languages. Verbal. Well, my brain says I love that person. People need to hear that they're loved. So I tell them, hey, I love you. All right? Words of affirmation. Hey, people need to feel good about themselves. Well, how do I know what it feels like to not feel good about yourself? Because I've had all that. So I'm aware, I'm keenly aware up here. I'd say I'm more keenly aware in my mind than even because I'm not bombarded with all this emotion. Because emotion is what makes people feel hurt feelings, and I feel regret, and I just want them to apologize. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to mock you like that. But this is how I see it. And it hinders you. It's a weight. And this is literally, if you were in the profession of being successful and overcoming every obstacle and just being a straight up conqueror, you have to get rid of all that. None of that can matter because it literally puts you down in this position. You want to be a warrior, right? Then you got to think logically, think strategically. Keep emotion down there where it belongs. Once you learn how to run out of here, man, boy, you are unstoppable. BTB is an easy way of life for you. You're just focused on moving forward. You are the most profitable, beneficial, powerful person that is walking around when your emotions stay there and you are mentally focused. And I'm talking about tunnel vision. This is not a weight that you have to deal with. Do you understand? Maybe that could happen for you. I don't really know. But don't judge those of us that have it, especially when it was tortured into us. We didn't choose that. Neither did the psychopath. That lobe is literally what's keeping it from feeling empathy. Keeping it. Fair enough. I'm going to leave it in. What's up? Keeping it. Keeping him or her from feeling empathy. Now, what they do with that is up to them. That's a moral issue, and that's where you distinguish. It's not all sociopaths and all psychopaths. None of them can feel love. That's a lie. So the 5 love languages, words of affirmation, acts of service. Well, I cook and clean and baby my kids and people that I care about all the time. Spend time with them one-on-one time, even if I don't like it, because I like to be by myself. I like to do my own thing. I like to just hang out with the Lord. I like to study. I even like to do this. But dealing with people and with them, I don't love it. But I do it because people need it. Because I know what people need. Because I listen to them. Right? Because I'm a strategic thinker. Know your opponent. The Art of War, Sun Tzu. It's a good book. Anyway, not better than the Bible, though. Just saying. All right, and then the other one, physical affection. Well, I know people need that, so I will hug them. Do I ever need a hug? I don't know. Not really. Do I get lonely not being single for a long time? Sure. Sometimes I see TV. If I'm watching a TV show, see a married couple, I'd be like, oh man, I wish I could cuddle with somebody. But do I need it? No, not at all. I would rather not have it than have to be in a relationship and be bothered. Unless if somebody's on my page, somebody's better than me, I would happily then be married. That's if the Lord has it in store for me. But I love being single, man. This is the first 6 months that I've ever been single in my entire life. And I love it. I love it. Praise Jesus. I love it. Yeah. And then whatever the 5th one was, it doesn't matter. You make all those decisions with your mind, the same as you do with your emotion. But your emotion ties in all of this neediness, where I need you to spend time with me. I need you to touch me. I need you to tell me you love me. Well, why do you need all that? Doesn't your brain say, based on everything that they've done before, that they love you? Don't they live with you? Aren't they married to you? You know what I mean? Well, I think that is the emotion that's weighing it down. That was my only point on that. All right, well, I think we're done here for the day. I really do need to go and try all this sand the garage down. Yeah, maybe we'll do another quick one.